Hello guys, this is the editorial of November 29, Monday. So we were not able to do since last 3-4 days. So all this will be covered up. So you can keep asking your queries in WhatsApp or Instagram or Telegram. All these things are easily accessible and always you will be getting quicker responses. So here all the articles are important on November 29th. So it will be a little lengthy. So I'll tell you these two are very important. This is the Omicron variant, the new COVID variant. So it's important. We'll discuss that. And then here it is about EWS quota, okay, the new reservation quota. So the criteria is being questioned by the Supreme Court to the center, asking explanation like how did you come up with this criteria when we already have a 50% bracket. More than that you cannot give reservation. So that we'll see quickly. Then COP26 again, what is India's new pledges, which we already discussed, and what is the new updates here, what are the new things which India has signed. So that kind of things we'll discuss here. Then here Kashmiri youth, always like the stone pelting and all those problems which used to happen. A little bit of history regarding that and what is the future. Okay, so that is about the how to win over Kashmiri youth. Then this is about a Tamil Nadu scheme, education related scheme, which is a smaller one, but quickly we'll discuss. Okay, and here it is about the Kannada language in Karnataka. In Karnataka, that imposing the language kind of things used to always come up in the debates and news and all. So we'll see this one. So if you see, I think first time we are having all the articles as important. Okay, 7 articles are there, and here this box is there. So this box first itself I'll show you. It's about the smartphone access for people, for students. So they're telling like government, if you see this SR report is there, okay, education report. So this report 2018 2021 they are comparing and telling like the usage of smartphones have been increasing, whether it is a private school or government school. The usage of smartphones are increasing, and it varies from state to state also. Like if you see Kerala and all, the it's also I think the first digital state of India. So there everybody has internet, and most of them have smartphone. Many applications are there, so they are having much more access to smart studies, okay, the new online mode of studies. But states like Bihar and West Bengal and all, if you see, they are having lesser access to smartphones, and so their thing will be different and lower. Okay, here numbers you can see 76% in Kerala has access to smartphone, but only 11% in Bihar has access to smartphone. Okay, so that education related data they have given, so you can use it in any of your exam kind of thing. Okay, online education or any essay type question, if it comes, this kind of data can be used in that. So if you are a very serious aspirant, we expect you have already subscribed to this channel, and also we expect that the like to this video has already come. Okay, because the only motivation for us when we do this kind of free series is that your likes and comments come in plenty. Okay, and it applies to both Vysh IAS and Vysh courses channel. Okay, so all these, if you see this NFSHS, that is the National Family Health Survey, in which a lot of important data is there. Even an essay question can come from this, is covered in detail here. Okay, if you see another Tamil Nadu child right policy is there, then here police station ranking by Ministry of Home Affairs. Then here if you see the multi-dimensional poverty index, like many things are being put, but your response are very poor, and if it is in that way, then we will not be able to continue this for free. Okay, so see to it that you are responding to all the playlist and all the subjects. Okay, because it's there in both English and Hindi, whichever subject you take, polity or environment or science or geography, everything is there in English and Hindi. Okay, so please see to it that you are supporting us, else we'll have to discontinue. Okay, this week maybe the DS3 lectures also are going to start. Okay, maybe internal security will start first because students have been asking for it, and that is not part of any of your prelim syllabus. So internal security mostly this week will start. Okay, but please see to it that you support these things which are being done. Okay, so again, contact details are given here, WhatsApp and email, so that you get immediate response to any thing. Okay, because even test series, mains test series is starting next week. Now the Omicron variant, very interesting name. You will see it's a Greek letter, so I'll show you how the naming also is done. So the cases, if you see, it's not like in one country, it's there in multiple countries now. It's South Africa who actually gave out the data. So people are starting to blame South Africa for this, but you should not do that, because they actually transparently gave the entire data, and now the world is aware of it, and they are taking the necessary steps. Okay, because this case initially was there in UK also, Britain cases were there, but they did not give out the data that time. Okay, so again, if you see now it's increasing. If you see this Belgium, Israel, Denmark, Croatia, almost all the European countries are getting affected, and everywhere around 3 weeks, 4 weeks of national lockdowns are being announced. Okay, and it is even entered India. In Bangalore, 2 cases were there, and in Kerala, I think today 2 cases were there. So this is going to increase again. So people have to be careful about this. And there is a term which you will see like variant of concern and variant of interest. Okay, so this Omicron is a variant of concern. So what exactly is variant of concern, interest and all, you can go and watch the same in Vysh courses channel. Okay, it was discussed 5 months ago, but see, only these many people saw it. So please see to that you watch every episode which is put in both the channels. Okay, so the naming convention, if you know, to avoid any this thing, like instead of telling Chinese variant, Indian variant and all, to avoid all that confusion and not to blame anyone, WHO came up with this idea of naming the COVID variant in alphabets, okay, Greek alphabets. So if you see, variant of concerns are this alpha, beta, gamma, delta and all, okay. And if you see the country where it was first reported or first detected was is mentioned here, okay. So if you see UK, South Africa, Brazil, India. So Brazil, sorry, South Africa, already beta version all has come. So like this epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, like this, all these things came, and these are all variants, okay, meaning this virus, this COVID virus, when it is in the environment, it will keep changing its form, okay, like it will interact with something, or it will, due to the surrounding temperature or whatever, it will keep mutating, okay. That the term is called mutation. So when it mutates, it becomes a new variant, and there is no necessity that it has to be dangerous, okay. Sometimes it will become a harmless virus, okay, which is of no problem to anyone, but sometimes it will become more powerful, and this spike protein which you see, these spikes and all, this will become more dangerous ones, and if it comes to human body, it is going to cause your lung related issues, okay. So now what happened is, the new variant has come after all this. If you see Greek letters, you should know first, this is this order, and now this is the one, okay. Omicron is the naming convention, but one interesting thing is, the last variant, it was named as mu, okay. Till here we had, meaning this alpha to this thing, all is done, but this two letters is now skipped by WHO. If you see this Omicron COVID variants, WHO skips two letters, nu and c, okay. So this actually, WHO has always this favoring towards China and all. So this C is actually the president's name is also C in China. So to avoid that, like we are referring to Chinese person, they decided not to keep C. Okay. Then this one, if you see new, this is actually sounding like the English word new. So if you call it like new variant, people will get confused. Okay, instead of NU, you will think it is NEW. So just to avoid that confusion, this letter is also avoided. So directly after the mu variant, the new variant is named as Omicron. So the next variant will be named as Pi. Okay, this is same like our cyclone naming and all. We already have a preset name, prefixed name, set of names, and as and when the next variant comes, we will name the next letters. Okay, but only these two, because of this new word and this C with this Chinese word, they have avoided it. Okay. So later, maybe if they run out of letters, maybe they'll again have to forcefully use it. But as of now, they have skipped those two letters and gone to Omicron directly. Okay, hope you're clear with the naming convention. So if you see, this is a variant of concern, and usually when such cases comes, okay, first it will be variant of interest, then only later it will be variant of concern. But this one, very quickly, without even waiting for reports and all, they have declared it as a variant of concern, because the way it is spreading is like very, very fast. Okay, in South Africa, Botswana, UK, Netherlands. In Netherlands, I think today morning news also 13 people have been reported with this. Okay, so as I told, the spike protein will be there in the mutation. Okay, and many of them will not be harmful, but some will be harmful. And here, if you see, and this is the one which will be binding to human cells, and also it's the preferred target for vaccines also. So those areas it will be affecting, and it will be very dangerous. Okay, now one term you should know, already you know antibodies. You will know antibodies are the line of defense. Okay, what is there inside our body which will be fighting against the viral infection. Okay, even if you're infected like for the first time, then by default antibodies by natural it will be made. Okay, also with the vaccines also you can generate it. So that one thing which you use for defense is antibodies, it's naturally there. And this monoclonal antibodies means the one used in treatment. Okay, so here they have given names. Okay, this one, if you cannot pronounce also, it's okay, but in case UPSC put these three terms and ask like this was in news what it is, you have to tell it is monoclonal antibodies. Okay, MABs, meaning antibodies, this is also the same thing, but one is the first line of defense and one is the forced one, or the one we use for treatment, okay, which is injected into you. So this monoclonal antibodies is very, very important, and UPSC will ask you, okay, this year or next year surely this is going to be asked. So these terms just note it down, okay, whatever the spelling may be. So this is happening, and as I told, some will be aggravating and some will be changing the virus properties in such a way that people will be dying at a faster rate. So here, if you see the number of patients in South Africa, it's only limited to a small province, that is the Gauteng province. Okay, but why this is this much serious is because in just last 10 days, it has infected so many people in that same province, and also 90% of them, 90% of fraction of the genomes are affected. Okay, so it is like some people are not curable, some people are dying, some people are not even knowing because there is no symptoms. So that is why it is a point of concern. Okay, and also everyone have been imposing travel ban, everything from South Africa, but nobody were going to help them. So India actually have took a good initiative by supplying them vaccines and doing this, because supplying vaccines is the only cure. Okay, that is what in the upcoming slides also I'll tell you. Okay, and very good thing is that it can be detected by the PCR test, RT-PCR test, which is being done. In that, this virus can be detected also. Okay, so what the country should do is not banning the flights. Instead, they should start screening them properly. Whoever comes from South Africa or via South Africa and all, or other countries, you have to screen them and then do the necessary steps. Okay, instead of completely banning and seeing them as some hostile people. Okay, so India is doing good, and as I told, it's not like simply originated there or they purposely created that and all. That also we'll see. One slide I'll tell you like why exactly in South Africa these many cases came. That we'll discuss. Okay, and one interesting thing is here the number of cases in USA, Germany, and Britain is much higher than Africa. But still, we are worried about African variant because African people only 10% have received the first dose vaccine. Okay, so that is why if their cases increase, the number of deaths will be beyond control. Okay, because other places and all people 64%, 62% and all are vaccinated, so they will be able to fight against this. Okay, so we have to make available. If you see the world richer countries and all, they are even going for third dose and all, meaning booster shots are all given after the second dose, and for that and all they are spending a lot of money, but they are not even caring about these people who have no single vaccine yet. Okay, so pandemic cannot end unless the whole world is protected. Okay, this you can start in the start using the starting of the answer in case you have to write something about this methodology to prevent or fight against COVID. Okay, so we have this COVAX also, which is an international group or international consortium, which is having this task of giving the vaccines to all the people, or making equitable distribution of vaccines across the world. Okay, so that supplies has to be scaled up and everybody has to be seen to it. Okay, and India, luckily, we had the festival season, Diwali season and all, but after that also we did not have huge case. Okay, the continued decline is a very good sign. So we are going back to normalcy now. Everything, schools are opening, theaters are opening, public places are opening, people are all going out. Okay, so the low number of cases currently in India, it is because of two factors. Okay, one is that the large proportion of population has already been exposed to virus, meaning the herd immunity concept is there, where you are already exposed to virus and your body has already developed the antibodies and you are able to get the certain level of protection. That is one reason. Second reason is the immunization. The vaccine campaign by the government, which is being done now, that to completely free, is a very like fastest in the world. Okay, the fastest and the highest also, because some countries who have simply 1 crore, 2 crore population, they are struggling to get their full vaccination done. But in India, 100 crores of vaccination is already done. The first dose is already done. So this kind of speed, the momentum, is the second reason for which India is seeing lower cases now. Even if people are getting affected, it's just like a fever. 1 week they are in quarantine and they are out. Okay, so this is a very good sign, and hopefully we'll be able to fight Omicron also in the same way. Okay. So now here they are telling that breakthrough infection, this term also you should know, that is people who are fully vaccinated, they also can get affected by COVID, right? So that is called breakthrough infection. Okay, we are breaking through, the immunity system is being broken through and it is again coming inside. Okay, but such people are being affected with lesser intensity and duration, okay, compared to the ones who are not vaccinated. So vaccination is the only method to save from this. Okay, and also we see Delta variant also, which was the most dreadful one till as of date, that also is being taken care by this vaccination. Okay, until now Delta was the most serious one, but now we fear that Omicron may be more serious than that. So is this more transmissible? Can it evade the human immune system? And the variant associated with more severe disease outcomes. So these kind of things we need answers. So the scientists and epidemiologists, all these people have to work on this and give more detailed studies. Okay, only then we'll be able to fight or see how much problematic it is. Okay. So other recent variants, as I told, the previous one, the Mu, the Lambda and all, you didn't even hear the names properly because it just came and went. It did not create that much problems. Maybe 1 or 2 persons got affected, but that variant again died out. Okay. So this, the way it is going on, the new variant, it can easily outstrip the Delta variant, and for that we need reliable estimates. Okay, this crude calculation suggests that it may be larger, meaning the affected people may be larger. So we need better studies. Okay. So here if you see, WHO has recommended studies. Key question for India also, because many people have got immunity and all. Everybody has to await for it and all, because this is the second article. Okay, so I told 2 articles are there. So Omicron in India we are discussing here. So vaccines and treatments like monoclonal antibodies might need to be reformulated. RT-PCR luckily is still detecting it. Okay, and then both vaccinated and unvaccinated individuals it is getting affected. So these are the only available information as of now. Okay, so we need a priority based research to be done so that we can be ready for it. So now how did it come from? How did this new variant come, or why is it like South Africa? You should know, like this coronavirus, it will keep, as I told, mutating in the atmosphere or in the environment or in human body. Okay, because virus needs a host, it will be in the human body, so it will be going on multiplying or changing its form and different things. And weaker the human body immunity, the faster or the different types it can mutate into. Okay, so in South Africa, there is a high case of HIV patients. Okay, whose immunity will be at the lowest. So that place virus will continue to multiply and mutate. This is what is the initial estimate. Okay, because there are, like, if you take the HIV or AIDS numbers and all, South Africa and all is like kind of the world number one number of patients. So there's a high chance that this virus will be mutating and multiplying in a large number and in a very harmful way, that this is now coming out as Omicron variant. Okay, and now after that, in different countries it has come, like cases found in Hong Kong, cases found in Israel, and in UK also. So everywhere, these are people who are triple vaccinated already with this Pfizer vaccine and also. After this also you are getting affected, but these people are having symptoms which are very mild only because you are vaccinated. That is why vaccination can be the best possible solution. So again, reduce the case numbers. Vaccination is the tool. Even a single dose can be like effective. Then inequality, as I told, everybody should be given the vaccine. Okay, cost of the rest of the world. Okay, because as I told, many rich countries are given booster doses. Then again, if you see, 60 countries have vaccinated less than 25% of population, including South Africa. Okay, so this is the most transmissible kind of variant also. So we need urgent global public health to ethically and morally do the right thing. Okay, that is equity in the distribution of vaccine. And again, if you see, South Africa needs to be praised because they transparently shared the data immediately to the world, and now we are all aware of it. Even India is in every airport, everywhere, now the checking is going on. So nobody can enter with the Omicron variant inside. Okay. So this lesson we should also learn. Every country should learn from South Africa and follow this model. Now, the second article or the third article we can tell, because the other two were Omicron. So EWS quota, we know this economically weaker section thing came from 2019. Even in your UPSC exam, this quota is there now. They have a different cutoff and different reservation list and all. So this EWS quota, how did they give, or what is the count? So this is the general thing. Okay, ST 7.5, SC 15, and OBC 27, and this is 10. So if you see, this together itself is like 49 point something percentage. Okay, so if you remember, there was in 1991 there was a Mandal Commission report based on which the OBC reservation was given. Okay, and in 1992 this thing came. Okay, Indra Sani case came, in which it was told like the reservation should not cross 50%. So they locked it here. Okay, caste based reservation cannot go beyond 50%. So this was the only reservation there. But now government came up with this EWS 10%. So now the question was asked, and immediately center told like, you told caste based reservation cannot be there, but we are not giving any caste based reservation. We are giving economically weaker section. Okay, those who are not having the economical capability. So based on money we are giving, and these are the kind of criteria. Okay, family income less than 8 lakh per annum, then agriculture land less than 5 acre, residential flat less than 1000 square feet, residential plot less than 100 or 200 square feet. Like this, it's an economic criteria and it's not a caste criteria. So this is the answer which the central government gave that time. Now again, Supreme Court is asking this thing like, how did you arrive at these numbers? Okay, because these numbers also can vary from state to state. For example, a rich state like maybe Kerala or Goa or Tamil Nadu and all, 8 lakh per annum is maybe a normal thing for most of the people. Okay, but in states like maybe Bihar or West Bengal or any other poorer states, Chhattisgarh or anywhere where it's poorer states, there this thing will be different. Okay, 8 lakh will be a higher number for them. So you are giving more this thing to those people, because there many people will be having less than 8 lakh. But the student at Goa or someone whose parents' income may be, obviously generally because per capita income is high, they will not get the reservation. So it's like a partiality. So how did you arrive at these numbers, and why is it common for every state? This is what is being asked by the Supreme Court. Okay, hope you got the idea. So that thing round and round they are going on telling here. Question raised by the Supreme Court, and there is no satisfactory answer. And this 8 lakh number, how did you arrive at? Did you simply copy the OBC this thing? Okay, because in OBC, you know, there is something called creamy layer. Okay, creamy layer means within OBC itself, economic section is given. Only those people will get reservation. It's not like all the OBC will get. Only those OBC people whose father's income is less than 8 lakh rupees, they'll be getting the reservation. So did you simply copy that number and put it for this thing also, EWS also, or whether a detailed study was there? If study was not there, you have to do a detailed study and you have to prescribe all the norms with proper justification. Okay, because already this this EWS quota came when in 2019 through the 103rd constitution amendment. That itself is being like in the bench is checking the validity of this, whether it is possible or not. Okay, and so these questions you have to answer. So here if you see, now again, other exams, the NEET exams, all India quota for medical admission and all, there and all this throughout the country going on is the problem. That is why being questioned, because center wise or state wise or specific college wise exam and all, already quota, everything is going on. So the all India kind of quota, whether it's valid or not, the bench is trying to decide. So it's expecting answers from the center and seeing whether it is constitutional or not. Okay. So income criteria, as I told, whether they copied from OBC, same thing here. And it will decide whether this is being done, whether in all India quota it should be there. And the same thing only. Okay, so this is all number you don't have to by heart, because this will keep changing, and UPSC don't focus on this kind of numbers. Okay, so you have to see to it that the quota is justified. That is the overall thing about this article. Now the climate summit, for which already we discussed, COP26 in UK, that is in Scotland area, you can tell, specifically in a place called Glasgow. So there in October 31 to November 12, this happened. And if you see, China and Russia was absent. Okay, China is the second largest emitter of this one, carbon, and Russia is the fourth largest emitter of carbon, and India is the third largest emitter of carbon. Okay, so in comment section, tell me now who is the first one, because 2, 3, 4 is given here. Who is one? Okay, so this one, these two were absent and India was present. So India was like kind of the leading phase also there. Okay, because they are taking steps which is needed for it, and India is the only country who is actually taking positive steps to reach the Paris target. Okay, Paris climate change agreement which we had, in that we had a target of 1.5 degree temperature rise we'll control. So that only India is the economy which is doing all the things. So here if you see, this author, okay, author name is not important, I just mentioned here because the body on which he is part of, he is a chairman of Institute for Policy Advocacy and Governance, okay, which is there in Delhi, and it has its branches in Dhaka, Melbourne, Vienna, and Dubai. Okay, I'm just telling you this body. Okay, it's an Indian body, Institute for Policy Advocacy and Governance. So now moving forward, India, announced that by 2070 we'll announce this thing, net zero emissions. Okay, so this one, if you see, USA is like 2050, and the other country, I think China and all, told by 2060 we'll do, and so India told we'll do by 2070. Okay, because you people have done all the development and all the carbon emission and all till now, so we also need time for development. So we told 2070. Okay, and we have Panchamrit also, 5 goals which was announced, that are already explained. Now if you see, many people are announcing many projects. Okay, for net zero target, USA and Europe and all told this global methane pledge. Okay, this one was announced, but India did not sign this. Okay, so why and all that we'll discuss later, but India did not sign this global methane pledge. Okay, and also there was a pledge for deforestation to stop completely or something, that also India did not participate. India was not part of this pledge to deforestation. India was not part of global methane pledge. Okay, but India will be doing many other things, I'll show you. Okay, so here if you see, India has signed to the Glasgow Breakthrough Agenda. Okay, so if UPSC has like Glasgow Breakthrough Agenda seen in news, is related to what? It is in this COP26 only, for the promotion of clean energy. Okay, clean energy, not only promoting, making it more affordable also. So India and other 35 countries have signed the Glasgow Breakthrough Agenda. Okay, but it has not signed the deforestation one and the methane pledge. Okay, there are many other things also. There's another thing called Green Grid Initiative. Okay, like India is doing the one solar, one world, one grid and all. So UK and all people are starting this GGI also. Okay, global green something. Okay, so it's all grid related one, making the this one renewable energy more affordable and making people reach it. Okay, so India is doing already a very good job, because if you know solar and all, we are doing lot of plants and we are taking technology from Israel and we're doing many things. Okay, and if you see, in the last many years, affordability also has increased. The solar bill, okay, the current bill whatever comes through solar generation, it is very low compared to how we started many years back. Okay, and also if you see, these countries, China, USA, North Europe and all, are converting or transitioning more towards the complete renewable energy thing. Okay, 100% renewable energy is being achieved, being targeted by European countries. So India also need to do much more improvement. Okay, we cannot stop like telling like we already done a lot of things, we have to do more. Okay, so two main struggles which India will face is, one is the consumption, because we have this much big population, this much people will consume the energy. Okay, compared to other countries which are very small, we have such a big population, we have to satisfy all their consumption needs. Okay, and if another thing is the lack of resources also, like what resource to do. Okay, even though solar energy and all is there, it needs more efforts to generate it. Okay, if you see countries like Iceland and Norway, which are very, very small, they are depending just on hydroelectricity, the normal one, and they are able to satisfy their population because it's a small population. Okay, and if you see big countries like China and USA, they are generating more and more power through nuclear power. Okay, but for nuclear power, you need nuclear sources, which India has to take it from other countries, and India is not part of nuclear supplier group because of China stopping their entry into India's entry into this. So because of this, we are not able to work properly on nuclear power also. So we are now going towards solar, wind, and other things, or we have to somehow get help from developed countries. Okay, this is what Modi is also telling in every meeting. Okay, so we have a target of like 50% power consumption through renewable energy, and we have to bring down the cost also, and we have to promote or make it attractive. Okay, the business should be there because public and private investment is required. It's not like center alone or government alone or state alone cannot do it. We need private investors to create such a big revolution kind of thing. Okay, so if you see COP21, as I told, we are doing this, and there is another thing called hydrogen fuel which we are trying to promote. So hydrogen fuel related, another one article I'll discuss in some other days thing, because it is there. Okay, in the last 5 days which we missed, one of the day we have hydrogen fuel related thing, that time we'll discuss. And here if you see solar energy, we have subsidized and made it, like if you see, cheaper, but we still need lot of money. Okay, $2.61 trillion we need, so we have to depend on the other things. Okay, other countries. So if you see here, our economy already, after demonetization and after foreign investment declining after the COVID pandemic, the economy has gone down, and we are already pushing a lot of money to vaccines and Manrega and many other things are being done. The ration being given to entire 80 crore population, poor people. So many places fund is already required. So we need to get money from the richer countries. Okay, so that is the biggest challenge for the world's largest democracy. So financial support, Modi is asking international community, the $100 billion pledge also, which was promised during 2015 to developing countries, it is still not given. Okay, so that has to be started to be given. Now I think Germany or someone has announced that they will give a lot of fund, so that everybody has to do. Okay, so developed north needs to shore up its support. Okay, developed north means the northern rich countries, they have to support. Okay, because leaders only have to do this thing, because people will not be able to think of all these things. The normal people which are in poor developing countries, they will be bothered about their food or their medicines and their doctor, their schools, their health. They don't care about climate change and all these things. So leaders have to do it. So instead of debating, people have to support each other and to come up with a proper helping mentality to same like we are fighting the pandemic, we have to fight the climate change also. Okay, now Jammu and Kashmir youth, we know the things are changing now after Article 370 is gone, but still there are many things to know. Okay, because now government is trying to do this de-radicalization kind of camp. Okay, where youth will be brought together, and they'll be given education, they'll be given travel, they'll be made to come out of that small thing which is their mentality now, small mentality, to broaden their mind and know what is development, what is education, what is the world doing around. So that kind of thing is happening. And also the chief of defense staff has told, like, it's a positive sign that even the youth are now telling that we should lynch all the terrorists. Okay, so that's a very positive sign. So that is what he's telling, because they are understanding that this terrorism and stone pelting, all things are bad. So history, if you see, long back when the Pakistan president was there, General Muhammad Zia-ul Haq, okay, dictator kind of president, he was the one who introduced the religion as a state policy, made Pakistan as an Islamic state. Then more and more madrasas and religious education was injected into students, in youth, and then this later only spilled into Kashmir, and then the Pakistan issue became like a Kashmir issue also, and everybody became thinking only in the religious angle. They don't care about any other things. So in the 80s and 90s, if you see, the most of the thing, it's not like the youth used to do it. It's not the Kashmiri youth used to do it. It was the militants from this thing, Pakistan, who comes to Kashmir. They are the ones who used to do it in the 89, 90s time and all. Okay, youth and all later only, because they used to have groups like Tasneems, which is groups which are created in Pakistan to fight in the Afghanistan. The same youth were sent into this thing. Okay, sent into Kashmir also. And also these people will threaten the families also, many Kashmiri families, and forcefully make their one son to be trained in Pakistan, and then they'll be deployed in Kashmir itself, meaning a Kashmiri youth is threatened and taken to training, and then brought back and planted in the same place, and then made him like a suicide bomb, or made him kill people. Okay, so this used to happen in the 80s and 90s. You know, lot of insurgency and violence case used to happen. Okay, it's not like India did not do many things. India did the Public Safety Act of 1978, this AFSPA Act of 1958. Many things were there to counter, but this again made the people also the normal people also get afraid of the army and all. So it's like a dividing line, okay, between Kashmiris and the rest of India. So that and all, slowly now, after the Article 370 is taken out, it is improving. That is what the article is trying to tell. Okay, later, these families, this Abdullah family, all these people, Mufti family, these all people became the leaders also, like family kind of leaders. But people's trust fully they couldn't gain. They are like half minded whether to trust them or whether to trust the Pakistan, whether to trust the India. They don't know that. Okay, they were all in a kind of fixed kind of situation. Okay, so in 2008 also, a lot of protests were there. Indian army killed 2 3 infiltrators, and many such things were there. If you remember, in 2016, this Burhanwani's killing and all was there, where many youth and all gathered there when he was killed. So like this, many events have happened over the years before Article 370 was taken away. Okay, and that time twin challenges with the army faced was, one was to fight the terrorist, another was to make the youth understand also, because they are the ones who are protesting, they are the ones who are being paid to throw stones and this and all. An army has no other option but to shoot back at them. Okay, so water guns they'll use or pellet guns they'll use. So because of that, many people have injuries, and especially eye injuries, which was, you would have seen photos and all that time. So UN report also came that 39 children and this many girls, this many boys were hit by pellet guns, and so India's image used to go down. Okay, so in the United Nations, Pakistan will bring up this thing like telling like we are torturing Kashmiri youth and Kashmiri children and all. So this and all now got over, or it's like reduced to a very high percentage after the reduced to a very low percentage after the 370 article is taken out. Okay, so one thing in the starting I told you, like youth are telling like the terrorists must be lynched, but that, even though it is true, but it's a very bad kind of language when we see a democratic country. Okay, we are not supposed to talk about killing. Instead, we should be using a toned down manner, something else, to make the youth work or participate in the development and progress, and make them like normal any other citizen in any other state of India. Okay, Kashmir should not be different. It should be like a just another state of India. So in August this year and all, lot of undergraduate courses and many schools, colleges, and many army related welfare programs were being done. Okay, Operation Sadbhavana and all was done. So youth are getting into these kind of things. Even Bharat Darshan was done. That is, students are taken from one state to another and understanding the history, the development, the culture, how people are living, how people are working, studying, everything. Okay, so since 1999 and all, the army used to do it. Now central government also is giving support to it and recognition to it. So this is a very good thing which is happening through the home ministry, through the central government, through the defense minister. Everybody are participating in it. Okay, so again, army is constructing schools, medical aid, veterinary care. So the trust of the people on the army has increased now, and we are telling that it is good, but still now it is not fully got the desired effect. Okay, it has to be done more, because now the youth who has been taken are not from the actual military prone area. It is from the other normal area. Okay, there are people who are there in other places who are still a little bit hostile towards Indian army. So such people also has to be selected. Okay, now youth are not selected from the militancy prone regions. So you have to take students from there also and make them know what is happening in the world. Okay, and also another thing, whenever these Kashmiri youth go outside to study and all, they are sometimes seen in a bad way, or they are maybe tortured, or they are teased, or many things happen. That even northeast students face it when they come into other states. They are made fun of, like calling them as Chinese, or something will happen. So wherever they are, they have to be feeling at home, and protection should be given. Proper professional approach, soft touch, long term effort. Okay, else generation after generation will be continuing to fight. Okay, also in UN and all, this de-radicalization camp we are trying to do, maybe they will raise it in a different way. For agenda, political agenda, they will tell in this thing like, you can compare this to China's detention camp. Okay, this is a very torturous kind of camp. So maybe Pakistan will compare this to this, and then make India look like in a bad light. Okay, pro Pakistani element will tell like, this is like India is torturing youth. So we have to see to it that this also doesn't happen. Now the Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, two small articles. Here in this article, one mention is there about one person, Paulo Freire. He is actually a Brazilian educator who wanted this complete education, community level education, and that kind of thing. Okay, so his name is mentioned, like his vision is kind of being fulfilled through this kind of schemes in Tamil Nadu. That is this Illam Thedi Kalvi scheme. Okay, meaning learning at your doorstep. Okay, so learning education at your doorstep. This is a program, because in this COVID time and all, what happened is most of the people switched to online education and smartphone and all. But the people who are poor, the children who are poorer families and all, they cannot afford smartphones or internet and all these things. So they were not able to do this. So this asymmetric structure of the school system, okay, lockdown has forced into it, like half of the people are studying good, half of the people are not studying good. So that, to cover up that gap, to bridge that gap, this kind of scheme is being brought. Okay, so we are giving, including free textbooks, free uniform, free bicycles, nutritious midday meals. So many things which are not being got to the students, that this government is trying to make it available. Okay, so long back we had this Dravidian movement and all for social justice. So now this scheme is also kind of a government's attempt to achieve the social justice. Okay, so that children don't drop out of school and go into child labor and all these things. And here it's a voluntary scheme. Okay, if you see, 86,000 volunteers are there, out of which 68,000 are women. Okay, so girl children also will freely, without any fear, come out to study. Okay, so this like voluntary, like even a class 12 student, they can teach the class 5th student. Okay, so like that, if you see here, volunteers who completed class 12 will impart lessons for children of class 1 to 5. So this will give a kind of activity based learning. It's not very strict also. They will feel a very friendly kind of teaching. So that and all will happen. Okay, and here two reports are also mentioned. One is this SR report of 2018, in which they are telling certain numbers. Okay, this much student, this much percentage, where like it's like one of the literate state. Tamil Nadu is a literate state. Okay, but the outcome, okay, the learning outcome is poor. Meaning after that, what is literacy? Literacy means this much students or this much percentage people can read and write in one or two languages. That is how literacy is done in India. Okay, up to 7th standard or 7 years of age, they check whether you can read one or two languages. But here, if you see, numbers are there. We will tell like, okay, 60%, 70%, 80% literacy. But when you are actually asking them to read, okay, a class 3 student was not able to read a class 2 textbook properly. Okay, in rural Tamil Nadu. So this is what the SR report is telling. Also here, also in performance grading index of the education ministry. Okay, this you have to know. Performance grading index of the education ministry, Tamil Nadu got the lowest score among the southern states. Okay, so this kind of thing is the reason why government is now forced to push in more and more money. Okay, to bring back all these things, so to bridge the gap between what is in paper and what is in reality. Okay, so this, now the numbers not important, but they will do like these classes like 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and all, that too nearer to their neighborhood only. Okay, so that they don't have to go far away from their house and all. So extra tuition kind of teaching. Okay, so it's like a doorstep learning. So that's what here it is told. It is towards this Paulo's vision. Okay, because he wanted like engagement, community, schools to play a major role, activists to come between, volunteers to come forward. So this kind of learning. Okay, so in that kind of learning, the outcome is supposed to be higher. Okay, the dynamics between teachers and students will be improved. So these are whatever I highlighted. These are the important points. You can make notes on it. Okay, so his vision through conscientization. Okay, so this one, conscience based learning. Okay, meaning what is the need, what is that one that you have to bridge the gap and teach them. So this in essays and in ethics paper and all, sometimes you can use them. Okay, this whenever this personality name is involved, it's always helpful in answers. Okay, so again, preventing any violation of girls' child dignity, participation of women volunteers will dispel the fear. Okay, well thought out program will prevent regressive political elements. Okay, because sometimes they will tell like, okay, you are teaching communal things there, you are teaching party related, political related things there. So that kind of things should be taken care. And if done in a proper, well thought out program, this will be a huge success. Okay, that is what they are telling about this scheme. Now, the last article is about Kannada language. So, Kannada language, if you see, long back onwards, this thing is going on. Like Kannada, like Hindi is being imposed on them, or they are trying to impose Kannada on the people who come to settle in Karnataka. This kind of things, long drawn legal battles are going on. Okay. So, again, if you see, 2021 August, this undergraduate students should learn Kannada as one of the two languages from this year onwards. This is the reason for the latest fight. Okay, meaning whoever comes there to study undergraduate students have to study Kannada mandatorily as one of the language. Okay, and they are telling that it is actually we are following national education policy in which there is a clause that preserve and promote culture. Just by seeing this clause, Karnataka government told, okay, this actually means we should teach our language also. Okay, which is actually illogical. Okay, it's not correct. So languages need to be integrated, but that doesn't mean it has to be forced upon outsiders also. Okay, so since it is challenging to learn the language outsiders, now they have modified the order. Okay, they have modified the order and telling like students will have to learn Kannada as a functional language for only one semester, meaning in their 2 years of education, undergraduate students, they have to one semester study Kannada language as a functional language so that you can communicate within the state and all these things. Okay, so it is now before the Karnataka High Court. We'll see details later when it comes out. So again, court has told that NEP, National Education Policy, does not anywhere tell like you have to mandatorily force a language on a student. Okay, in higher education or any level, it's not there. But Karnataka department is telling it helps students in their day-to-day communication. Okay, and the system is already implemented in engineering and medical colleges. Then why not do in other undergraduate classes also? Okay, So this fight is going on, not very important, but you should know some little bit history, and one committee name also I'll tell you. If you see language policy of 1994, long back when they did, that time also Supreme Court quashed it and told it is not correct. Okay, Karnataka always have been trying to do this, and there are many other states also who will be trying to force it. Even center, if it tries to impose Hindi on states, that's also wrong. Nobody should impose anything. Okay, whatever people want to study, like general kind of thing. Okay, because English is needed for global communication, and Hindi is actually needed for the majority of states communication. So that you study in school or however, but it's needed. But other languages, it is regional language, which is up to students' choice, or maybe their mother tongue or needed. That time you can study. Okay, else in the real world, the regional language is actually not required. Okay, so here if you see again central boards what they are doing, and this some points are told here. Okay, old act and all. So wherever it has happened, the Karnataka government had finally lost the case only. Okay, so that they are discussing here some case things and all. And if you see, one committee was there, Gokak committee, in 1981 submitted a report and recommended that introducing Kannada in schools and giving it primacy. Okay, so this major movement happened that time in the 80s. State government has used those pointers from this report. Okay, from that report, some pointers is used to justify whatever has happened now. It also cited the provisions of NEP to argue that state can have a say in the choice of one of the languages. Okay, and the other language rest with the student. So it's telling again one language we can force it, and that is Kannada. That's what the state education department is telling, but actually it's not correct. So high court verdict we have to wait for. Okay, outcome of the pending case. So these are the articles today. So it took 40 minutes today because 7 articles we had to discuss. Okay, usually we discuss 3 or 4 articles, but today 7 articles we have discussed, and hope you have made notes. I'll try to do the remaining pending episodes. Maybe it will take time, but by December mid or end, I'll try to cover up and match it up. Okay, so that January 1st onwards, it will be again back on track. So give your like and comment. Thank you and have a nice day.